Hey there everyone, it's me, your host Hiramaki, here with another exciting match of Command & Conquer Red Alert Remastered against DyNaMic, currently number 1 in the leaderboard, versus EddieCheng. This is going to be a really exciting match, and I'd love to see how these two can face off against each other. Now, before I go any further, before I press the play button, I just wanted to make an apology for my stream yesterday. It was much lower quality than I'd hoped for. I dealt with losing my match pretty well, but when I was trying to record a video to put on YouTube, I kind of pressed the end stream button rather than the record button. Not my finest moment, to be sure. But hopefully those sorts of shenanigans won't happen again. And without further ado, I won't keep you from the rest of the game. So let's get the show on the road. Now, Eddie's got an alt account right now called Eddie Grab Your Points, and as of this time of recording, he was actually pretty much right next to his other account, his main. So, I'm sure he has reasons for doing that, but answers on a postcard, please. That'd be much appreciated. They've both got the same idea with their tactics here. The only difference really being that Eddie's built another power plant to extend further north, rather than, I guess the better idea would have been to move this MCV up here, but we'll see how that goes, right? Eddie's a good player, and I think he knows what he's doing. I've seen a few of his matches earlier on his stream today, and he knew what he was doing. But yeah, DyNaMic, number 1 so far. Can't really think of many other people who've even been anywhere close apart from AI Medium, whoever that is. DyNaMic sold his barracks. Fair strategy. When you feel like you don't need any more like infantry to scalp with, then you can always just sell off your barracks, and that should give you a little bit of your money back for whatever you're planning. Those two with crossing swords, I guess they just said hi to each other, but he's going to lose his rifleman there, as expected. DyNaMic's, he's kept his rifleman there. I guess he was microing him away from the guards.
Unit ready. Building.
Got a second war factory up. Something's happened with DyNaMic here. They've actually got pretty similar build placements right now, with the exception that Eddie still has his barracks up. Looks here that Eddie might be planning an early rush with his medium tanks. It's getting them more prepared, getting them more prepped up by the land bridge. But because DyNaMic doesn't have a radar, he's probably not aware of that yet. He has got a nice big amount of mediums though, ready for oops. Yeah, neither have got radar just yet. Both makes sense. Usually this early in the game, your first thought isn't on building a radar, but it's instead of building as much units as you can to either attack or defend. We see a third war factory come up, and also a third refinery. So I wouldn't be surprised if another war factory is down here, personally. And looks like they're about to square up to each other. Eddie's taking him away. He knows that if he takes it up, he's going to be in an unbalanced fight. DyNaMic has his radar up. He's going to start building south, maybe exploring that gun field, which he's doing.
Construction complete.
And Eddie's kind of doing the same thing. He's built a power plant down here. He'll build a refinery down here as well. And look at that. It's like a little ballerina dance. Oh, shots fired. Will he take it? Oh, here we go. The fight begins here. Look at the scattering. Look at the scattering of those guys. It's an... What else? How can I really describe this if I had a thermal on land, you know? That being said, DyNaMic's racking up the kill count. And the defender's advantage definitely played in here. The worst thing about this is that it looks like Eddie only killed about maybe 4 or 5 of those medium tanks. But DyNaMic just ratcheted it up from, from like 20 or something up to 42. So he's already got a big advantage here. And if he wanted, he can push right now. And he could easily take out Eddie's base. Now, DyNaMic's got his riflemen coming in from the north. Be interesting to see what he does with those. Eddie, he's got his medium tanks built up. He's getting some... DyNamic's getting some more coming out of his weapons factory, so he's not exactly, going to be lost if he loses those. And he's actually got a really good economy system going here. He's got all 3 ore fields, and he's built another war factory down here for quicker reinforcing. If he wanted to, he can either build down here or over here for further exploitation and keep that money coming in. And it's paying off for him. He's got 9,000 right now, nearly 10k of credits. He has enough spending money that he can just keep churning out those media tags again and again and again. But EddieCheng, he's floating near the broke mark. He's only getting about maybe 2k at most. He might want to think about expanding because right now DyNaMic, he's got the upper hand right now. You can see here they're both squaring up for a fight. It's going to start now, and that's another furball, I reckon, or not. Oh no, here we go. I thought that DyNaMic would have set his tanks past, but that would have meant that Eddie would have been able to have free reign over DyNamic's base, and that's the last thing he would want. Keep an eye on that economy, by the way. DyNamic's doing great. This is like top tier play right here. Also, the thought might have just occurred to me that it might be pronounced DyNaMic, like some kind of pun. If it is, good going, real smooth. But yeah, you saw the results of that. DyNaMic just managed to keep. He had the micro advantage, he had the numbers advantage, and he has the economy advantage. He's actually getting his units bolstered again. His riflemen's providing some good distraction. But meanwhile, we can see that Eddie's going to start moving his tanks up north.
Yes, sir, affirmative. Unit ready.
But we can see he's going to maybe start thinking about intercepting these ones. And then maybe even going south. His eco game is strong. I've never seen that many numbers in a game like this before. He's lost one of his medium attacks, but it's fine, more or less. Here he goes. He's going for it now. At this rate, it's a curb stomp for Paul already. I think I might have to do a video on this guy later on, just to show you that he's actually a really good player. But yeah, look at the scattering he does. Oof. That's brutal. That's what? 3 tag battles in a row now, and DyNaMic has got every single one of them. This isn't looking good for Eddie. This is where it starts to go downhill. Because now DyNaMic is right outside Eddie's base. There's nothing he can really do. He can try and go up north to attack DyNaMic's base, but he's just being worn down. There's no chance for him to get away without losing a significant amount of units. And at this rate, you can see how it's snaking, I should say, throughout the map there. And we can see DyNaMic's finally out of money somehow. But there you go. Eddie's down to 5 tanks, or 4 tanks? 4 tanks now. We're on full desperation mode for this guy. And he's putting out those medium tanks, but it's too late. He's lost 1. He's lost 1, 2 war factories, 3 war factories, refinery, and he's going south. He might think about going for a war factory, and that's gone. And that's it. There's no way EddieCheng can compete against this. There's too many tanks. It's a hopeless ride for him. Top level play from DyNaMic. EddieCheng did his best, but there's just no way he could compete against something like this. DyNaMic was just left unchecked and has grown to this demonic mess of nothing but yellow medium tanks. He doesn't even bother attacking the construction yard, because, I mean, what's the point of it? He goes for the power plant, and then Eddie GG's. Just like that. And what a play from both sides. Eddie had a great idea. He had the great, cut of his jib. He did a great job of exploiting the ore fields to the southeast, but he limited himself to those areas. He could have honestly decided to expand over here. Would have been a bit of a long play, but if he could get like a few silos, slowly build them up around here, get some power plants, weapons factories, and so on, get a refinery down here, and he might even be like toe to toe with DyNaMic, but that doesn't happen here. Instead, DyNaMic just had the economy game, like look at this. He was just constantly expanding. When this was running dry, he expanded south. And when that was starting to look dry, he decided to go east. And he was even... Look at that, man. It's beautiful. He knew exactly what he was doing. Top tier level 1 gameplay right there by DyNaMic. EddieCheng, you did well, and I'm so sorry it had to end for you like that.
Battle control terminated.
Now, this is going to be where the fun starts in this, because I've never, ever in my life seen that many numbers in a Red Alert game. Ever. That's mind-blowing. But because of that, he had so many more medium tanks. So many. He could just afford to keep churning them out. Didn't have to think about it. Just make them up as it goes along. And there were so many of them. There's just no way that Eddie could have just dealt against it. The only way he really could have done that is if he expanded to the other ore fields to the west. But that didn't happen. So, well, that's that really, isn't it? So, stay tuned. Might do an OG Command & Conquer video tomorrow. From Saturday, I'll be streaming the Command & Conquer multiplayer side. And Sunday will be Red Alert. Then, next week, on Tuesday, I'll be tackling the GDI campaign on hard mode. See how badly I do with that, yeah? So, nothing else from me. This is Hiromaki, signing off.